Hey guys, it's HomoMoto, and coming to you from my car again. And the reason I'm on my car again, even though the weather is 70 degrees, is I can't ride my bike for a couple of days. I had something happen the other day, a couple of days ago, and I won't be able to ride my bike for a couple of days, and really should probably be at home in bed. But I wanted to go ahead and shoot this video for you guys, and I'm going to visit with a buddy of mine, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and shoot this short video while I'm traveling to his house. But it's laying on the couch, laying on the couch, and I couldn't get my breath for anything. I tried to get my breath, and I couldn't. And I noticed that it didn't feel like I was getting any air. And on top of that, my chest was hurting pretty bad. It's not like I had an accelerated heart rate. It's like I couldn't feel my heart beat. And I would feel a couple thuds in my chest, and it didn't feel like there was very many of them. So I have a Samsung Galaxy. It's S7 Edge. It's got the heart rate meter on it. So I turned that on and pulled up my heart rate, and it said 47. 47's significantly low. So I questioned it, and I checked it again, and again it was 47. So I called my sister that lives just down the street, and I asked her to bring her equipment and just check me out real quick. So I called her, and as usual when I call her, she's kind of dragging. But I called her again and says, "Look, I need you here right now. This is serious." So I told her that. She went ahead and expedited, got to the house, and she checked my heart rate, and it was 45. And she said, "There's no way that can't be right." She checked it again, and it was 45. Well, she reset her equipment because, again, she thought that's way too low. And when she checked it the third time, it was 42. So keep in mind that when I first checked it, it was 47, and now it's gone down to 42. Well, she gets on her phone, and I don't know who she's talking to, and I told her, I says, "Hey, sis, I need you to go ahead and call an ambulance." And she said, "That's who I'm on the phone to." Well, ambulance gets there, here, want to know what's wrong, and I tell them I've got a low heart rate. And they said, "What's a low heart rate?" And I told them, "Well, the last time we checked it was 42. And they said, "There's no way that's possible." So they get out their equipment and they check it, and it's 42. Well, they decided it's time for me to go to the hospital. Get loaded up in the back of the truck, and the hospital, which is just about 3 or 4 blocks away. And yeah, I could have ridden in a car, but I wasn't going to drive myself. And once my sister saw how low my heart rate was, she was in no condition or position to, "Did you see that? What a freaking idiot. Learn to drive. Come on, man. Lord have mercy." Anyway, when she saw the condition I was in, she wasn't wanting to drive me either, and probably wouldn't have been able to. So we get to the hospital, and they get me back to the trauma unit. They check my heart rate, and it is now down to 40. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, it's about time for me to be pushing up daisies. So I start talking to my sister, and y'all, I don't have a will. I'll go ahead and put this out there. I do not have a will. I will have probably Monday. I don't have a lot of property. It's worth a whole lot. My most expensive asset that's paid for, or close to being paid for, is my bike. My car the bank owns, the house the bank owns. The few electronic items in my house are not worth much, and I've got a pretty good little gun collection, but all my guns combined aren't worth $2,000 or $3,000. But I wanted to make sure that my sister and my family knew who I wanted to go to, basically just trinkets. So I started telling her, I want this person to have that, this person to have this, and that person to have that. Most of my gun collection, things that mean a lot to me, are one of my nephew. But I got to thinking, I don't really have that many friends, but the ones I do have are pretty close. But then when I really got to thinking, I'm about to not be here anymore. We just lost our mom June 10th, and knowing that I was in fact slipping away, I got to thinking about, how's my sister going to handle this? We just lost her mom less than a year ago, and she was doing okay, I thought. So she listened to me rant and rave about who wants, who gets this and who gets that. And I told her how to get in touch with my life insurance, how to collect that if she needed to, and I went ahead and told her that basically my life insurance is split between her and her son. And when Mom passed away, I kind of jokingly pointed out a casket that I liked and things like that. So she kind of has a pretty good idea. I actually want to be putting a wooden box. A fancy one, but still yet a wooden box. And I don't want to be embalmed. So, but the thing is, over the process, they have me hooked up to several monitors now, and they're getting a different heart rate. They're getting a heart rate of 80-something. Well, I said, how's that possible? It's 40 a while ago. The doctor shows me it's still 40, but I have a different heart rate. The electronic part of my heart, the part of my heart that tells my heart, hey, you need to beat now, was accurate. It was 82, 83. But my heart was only able to produce a little less than half of that. And I said, what's going on? I've never heard of that. He called it a bigimini, I think that's what he called it, heart rate. And I asked him what it means. He said it could mean nothing, but it could also mean you're having a mild heart attack, or you could be having congestive heart failure. I said, so what are we talking about? He said, let's just try to get you through the night. Well, the next morning, let's go back. That night, they decided to put me on a breathing machine. It's a CPAP. I have one in the house. I never used it, but I have it. They put me on that machine, and throughout the night, my heart rate, not the electronic part, not the part that tells my heart to beat, but the actual beats per minute started speeding up. Well, they went from 35, I think, was as low as it got, which at that point, at 35, I didn't have any energy. I couldn't move hardly at all. And I think at that point, I'd already come to peace with what was about to happen. But shortly after they put me on that machine, my heart rate went from 35, it slowly climbed to 40, then 45, then somewhere through the night, at a heart rate around 50, I believe it was, I passed out. The next morning, I wake up and I'm feeling pretty good. So I asked the nurse, or doctor, I can't remember what he was, I think he was actually a nurse practitioner. I asked him, I said, what's going on? He says, well, throughout the night, a couple hours after you actually fell asleep, your heart rate elevated and matched your electronic heart rate. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, your heart is giving out, but we believe it's because of sleep apnea. So when we put you on this machine, your heart rate got back up to what it is electronically, and once it matched the electronic beat, it stayed with it. So the bigeminal heart rate, and I know I'm probably saying that wrong, went away, and my heart rate was just a true heart rate. They told me that they didn't think I had an actual heart attack, and if I did, it was a very mild one. But I did have heart issues. They said I likely had congestive heart failure, which is something I need to work with. They're going to really work with me on all that. But I could have had a very mild heart attack. Very mild meaning, good thing it didn't kill me. One of the things I did do, when I noticed my heart rhythm was off, I took a couple baby aspirin. And then when I got in the back of the ambulance, I took a couple more nitroglycerin, all the things that would normally do if you were having a heart attack, which, could well have saved me. But typically with a heart attack, the rhythms are different. They don't just steadily drop. And that's what was happening, is the heart rhythm was just dropping. The doctor had told me before I went to sleep that if it didn't incline and it steadily dropped, it would eventually start beating or stop beating. And there probably wouldn't be anything they could do to get it back up. Because it's not like when you go and defib, your heart rate just is an erratic, jumbled up mess. It's like Morse code or something. It's not like that. When your heart just slowly comes to a dead stop, it's just that. It's a dead stop. They can do CPR and hope to get a beat back, but odds are, they can't shock you if you don't have a rhythm. If you have the rhythm and it's out of control, they can shock and get that rhythm back. But if you don't have a rhythm at all, there's just not much they have to work with. So, the thing I want to express is let your loved ones know how you feel about them. Go ahead and open up. Tell people how you feel. Don't have what happened to you, or have what happened to me happen to you, where you're laying in bed with all that regret. You haven't told people how you feel. You haven't made your feelings known. You haven't expressed yourself. You don't even know who you want to have what. Of course, personal property is just personal property. And if you don't have a will, there's a chance the state will take everything you have anyway. Of course, I don't have a whole lot. Mainly bike and my gun collection are my two most expensive things. But I really want to express to you to tell your loved ones how you feel about them. Don't go out with them not knowing that you love them. Just don't do that. And don't go out without having a little inner peace with yourself too. Because you only have one chance. And even if you have a near miss or a brush with death, that's still that one chance, guys. Really need to make plans for, not saying plan to die, but I don't mean to think that, because I'm still not planning on dying. I look at this as being a blessing. But make peace with your family. Let people know. Make yourself a will out. If you have the possessions and everything, make yourself a will out. Let people know how you feel about them, and I always do that. And another thing, live life. Enjoy your life. If you only have one chance, have you done everything you wanted to do? Make sure you strive, not necessarily for success, but for satisfaction. Because once this life is over, whatever religious beliefs are, that's not this life. That's after now. Whether or not you believe you're going to go on to a higher plane, or you're going to die and go to hell, or you're going to become a a stink bug crawling on some cow shit or whatever. That's not now. That's not here, and that's not reality. The reality is what you have now is all that you know that you have, and live it up. You know, if you want to take that ride to California, you know, make sure that you take precautions, keep your rain gear, everything, and go take that ride. I've been wanting to ride to I'm going to ride to Atlanta, provided that the doctor clears me for this June 10th ride. But do that. Don't put it off because, oh, what if it's a long ride? What if the weather? What if this? What if that? Live your life. You only have one shot. Do what you want to do while you have the chance to do it. I can't stress that enough. I know this is probably a long, drawn-out, boring, maybe even mushy video, but I wanted you guys to know how I felt. I want you to take the time to enjoy your life. Let your loved ones know how you feel. And really, really live. I haven't done that, but I'm about to start to. As soon as I get a green light, I am going to live. I'm going to do the things I wanted to do. And I advise you to do the same. I do want to do one shout out. It's a buddy of mine's birthday today, and that's where I'm going now to hang out with him. And happy birthday, Mike. So that's really all I have for now, guys. Keep riding, keep looking into that sunset. Enjoy your life. Let your loved ones know how you feel. Roll Tide and